All right. How we doing, fam? How's everyone doing? Getting through the trading day? Yo, 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 what is up, guys? Are we shorting or are we longing? What is the trajectory? Okay, guys, we're just getting everything locked in here. We're going to see, we're going to update the tags. XRP is about to hit a major turning point. Okay. All right, so we can kind of see London, or not London, Tokyo. We're in Tokyo. We can see Tokyo manipulating a bit. Okay, so we've got that. And then we are going to do our tags, and then we'll get things underway. Make sure you guys open up Twitch. Make sure you guys open up a separate window. Get us rocking and rolling for the algorithm. And we're on time today, too. I'll look at the chat in a minute, guys. I'm just trying to get things moving here. So Tokyo is open and Tokyo manipulated. So we know London and New York is either going to distribute or accumulate. All right, guys, let's run this live up today. Let's get this thing trending all over the internet today, all right? All over the internet. It's going to be a banger of a live. Okay, should be good. All right. Tokyo session is open, guys. Smash up that like button. If you're tuning in from Twitch, let's hear it. If you're tuning in from YouTube, let's hear it. If you got multiple windows open, let's hear it. All right. I know that the market has been moving today, so I didn't want to clickbait anybody and put crash. It would definitely help out my it would definitely help out the YouTube live, but I didn't want to put crash because we're not quote unquote dumping. Okay. I forgot the water bottle. But here we can see Tokyo manipulated. Now I've got this thing down to a T, guys. New York manipulated today. Tokyo opened with a distribution yesterday. London accumulated, so we can kind of see what is happening. And obviously, we can see Tokyo manipulated here. Okay. So a bit of manipulation on Tokyo's side, which I'm not surprised. I kind of thought this would happen because we were completely overbought. We're dumping. Not dumping, but we are very, very overbought. And by overbought, I mean extremely overbought, okay? For this to break out, we would need to be bullish. We're not in a bullish market. We're in a downtrend market, okay? Other reason we're dropping is because, or we should start dropping, is because the 3-day is coming down before the 3-day close. So we have 21 hours left on this 3-day close. And you can see we are pretty much going to continue to drop. And then obviously you go down the list and we can see all of our time frames dropping. The 8-day close is in 21 hours, and we have an 8-day capitulation to the downside on your RSI. This means that this 8-day has to touch the bottom of the RSI before we get in an uptrend. There is no more support on the 8-day. Even though the monthly was a pivotal close, December is going to be a pivotal close, guys, December 2nd. Okay, and the reason that December 2nd is going to be a pivotal close is because of that 8-day. Okay, so I didn't really get to hear what you guys were saying. Are you shorting or longing, and what trades are we in at the moment? If you could put it in the comment section below, guys. All right. So we are in this little uptrend channel. Bollinger Bands are tightening on the 15-minute. We are fairly weak. 4-hour is coming up, but pointing up, which is fine. But again, we're on a downtrend, right? So this is your fair value gap. You're entering an area where there is a lot of shorts. So even though price action is pushing up in this high volume node of accumulation, it is going to be very tough to break it. Now, it is a possibility you break it, but again, we would have to break this, this channel. But Tokyo is all over the map with some manipulation right now, okay? We pumped. We're probably going to pump again. We're probably going to dump again. You can kind of see that if you go to your RSI right here, this is the top of the downtrend. So I see the market doing this and this and this until it hits the top and then continues back down, which is essentially a little bit of accumulation, little bit of manipulation. Did anybody see that silver trade we took on the live, guys? Obviously, I got stopped out on the live, but silver broke ATH. And then started to dump, right? So silver was a short all day. Remember I told you guys silver was going to dump with that bearish divergence. Now we could expect silver to have a massive drop. We're very oversold on silver right now, okay? In the shorter time frame, but your precious metals are going to start retracing. Absolutely a pump. We got stopped out, right? So made about $400 on silver on the live. Then we had that bearish divergence and we absolutely faked out on silver. So there's a possibility silver does come back down to here or at least 55. Okay, so that is our silver trade for anybody that wanted to know, did I make money on it? I made a bit of money, but I got stopped out, okay? I was trying to look for the top, and it faked everybody out. Still in a BTC short. Yep, I'm in a BTC short too, and I'm not closing my BTC short because essentially this is definitely manipulation, a little bit of accumulation on Tokyo. London, maybe we drop. We're going to drop into London or New York. We just got to figure out where we're at. We're very, very overbought. 15-minute is coming down, but price is moving up. So again, you're definitely in a manipulation phase. Although Tokyo is oversold on the 4-hour and moving up. So that is also a thing too. There's a possibility we just range in this channel back and forth at the high volume node, right? We'll see what happens. There are some fair value gaps built up here, which I don't really like for a short, but at the same point in time, I'm not longing the market because this can drop and come down anytime. I'll look at XRP, MON. When can we get into a long on MON? Non-financial advice, guys. Make sure you're looking at your own TA. All right, so MON has some bullish dive here. Personally, for me, I would not be longing a downtrend. There is just too much manipulation on downtrends and uptrends and sells, honestly. So personally, for me, I would not be longing a downtrend. If I'm going to look at MON, I'm honestly going to wait till the 4 hours back on top, and then I'm looking for a short. I personally would not be longing a downtrend. I've done it too many times, and I've got wrecked too many times. So you guys could for sure long a downtrend if you want, but make sure your stop losses are put into place. Same with this Bitcoin short. Yeah, it looks great. Typically, I don't go against my 4-hour, but right now we're kind of all over the place. We are overbought already on the 1 hour. So I'm just waiting for this 1 hour to hit the top of this resistance right here. Until it does, we're expecting a little bit of a range accumulation, maybe wicks in this area. Guys, at the end of the day, Bitcoin is in a massive downtrend. At the end of the day, you look for your shorts and you wait. If you have longs, you're just setting tight stop losses because the downtrend will play out. PC Surgeon, how you doing? Great to see you, brother. Thank you for helping me and being a great person. No problem. No problem, fam. Let's check out my beloved XRP here. At the moment, XRP is beloved. I'm not sure how long it's going to stay beloved for, but so XRP isn't looking too bad. It is bouncing off of the 618 right here. Right, you're bouncing off this area right here. Which should be a buy. Typically, this would be a buy, but you are in a downtrend. I would say this is where XRP is going to continue back up as long as Bitcoin holds some momentum. But again, yeah, Bitcoin is pumping a bit. But this is all over the place, which is why this is manipulation, because should have dropped down here. I see Bitcoin going for, we already hit that fair value gap, so maybe 87.5 possible. I have a stop loss. But yeah, if we go back to XRP, it looks good. It looks like we're going to come up here. And let's do a reverse Fibonacci 618. Yeah, so you'd be looking at about 260, 242 is your next take profit, although it is in a downtrend. So we've got resistance here at 250 or 230, 230. But if you guys want to look for a project, I personally wouldn't be longing anything unless it is in an uptrend. I'm actually going to give you guys an uptrend coin. WLFI, the only uptrend coin in the market, and maybe Quant. WLFI. This is why WLFI came up so quick, because even though we were in a bearish pennant here, WLFI is on a massive uptrend. Okay, I'm going to redraw the chart here on WLFI. And WLFI is not going to fall until it hits the top. It is in a huge rising top, guys, and this thing is going for liquidity all day. I know this does have to do with politicians and stuff like that. I'm going to leave it at that. So anybody looking for a short, non-financial advice, of course, now you're looking at about 18.5 on WLFI. I would be setting a short on WLFI literally 18.4 to 18.5. I would be setting a limit order, which I don't normally do, because right now in WLFI, you're going to see it is ranging at the 618 here. It bounced off your 618, which is, if you flip it around, this is actually your 618. And it could pump up to 19.4. It definitely could. I don't see it doing that. Maybe a wick up to 18.7, but 18.5 is where I'm putting my order. Then I would expect WLFI to roll over all the way down here off of that fake out. Otherwise, I would probably be longing WLFI, World Liberty Financial. There is definitely a pump coming on WLFI. We can see that 18-hour oversold. I wouldn't try to short it because it is in an uptrend. I wouldn't try to long it because, well, you could definitely long it. Not when the 1 hour is overbought, though. Right? So WLFI is getting ready to absolutely melt faces on a long and a short. So we're going to set our alert on WLFI 18.1. Then I'm going to get enough notification. I will definitely put a limit order for a short at 18.5 because I'm really liking WLFI for a short when it hits the top. It is in a massive uptrend, so it could break out too, but I highly doubt it. I'm looking at this hitting the top and rolling over all the way down to 12. That would be bearish divergence off of that double top. But just watch it, guys, because WLFI could absolutely roll over earlier. But I would keep an alert right there. All right, Pippin. Let's check out some Pippin. How's everyone doing, guys? Are you all hanging in there? Who is all hanging in there at the moment in trading, guys? We're all in this together. We're all in this to make money, right? Welcome to all the fam on the live. Appreciate you guys. This is our normal start time, 8 p.m. CST. And, well, actually, no, our normal start time is 8 a.m. CST. If I do a live in the evening, it's kind of like a bonus. But 8 a.m. in the morning is our normal. And we could see Pippin going for the top. Bearish divergence going for the top here on Pippin, the one crypto project, right? Huge rounded bottom on Pippin. Should be the top, and then maybe a cup and handle continuation, or just a straight liquidity grab dump, right? I would not trade Pippin unless it hits the top, and that's really all I have to say. I know it could pump more, but personally for me, I would not trade it unless it hits the top. All right, let me check out Bitcoin here. Bitcoin is literally at my entry, but I'm not getting out because I see that we're on a good downtrend here. Could wick up a bit higher. At that point, I'll most likely dollar cost average. It could also touch this fair value gap if it wanted to. If Tokyo wanted to be that crazy, they could touch the fair value gap, which is why I have a stop loss at 88. But ultimately, nothing is really happening on Tokyo at the moment. We're kind of just wicking here and there. Tokyo is boring today, guys. Tokyo was fun last night. Definitely boring today. OM, Mantra, sure, for sure. I would love a breakout on Mantra. If we get a breakout, we get an absolute pump on Mantra. Huge pump. Take off this for a minute. So here's our downtrend on Mantra. What kind of setup are you looking for? Are you looking for a short or a long? Caught the short, but now sideways for a day and a half. Yeah. So it did break out, but this wouldn't be a real, like, it didn't break out of your price action. I would say we're going sideways and we're going to drop on Mantra. There's a possibility we do come up, but it looks to me that we are going to go sideways and then we're going to drop. Because that is really what is happening on Mantra. It could fake out and pump a bit. You got to be careful about Mantra because it does have your volume gap right here. It does have your volume node right here, guys. So kind of if you look at broccoli, it is kind of doing the same thing as Mantra in a way. So if you're looking at broccoli, it broke out. And it is kind of the same chart to Mantra because you broke out in a little bearish flag. That is kind of the chart on Mantra. You've got a nice rounded bottom. They're pushing up. They're pushing up. And then you can look at an offloading at our volume area. So really you're looking at just going sideways until you hit some resistance. Now, of course, it could push up if Bitcoin pushes up. But again, we're in a downtrend. And it looks like we are just going to continue ranging, wicking, whatever you want to call it, until the London session opens. This might even just be accumulation. This might even not be manipulation, but I got to see what London does. All right, guys, smash that like button. But a lot of coins are breaking out sideways and they're hitting the trend and they're dropping. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to get a cup of water real quick. Hit the like, share. Make sure you guys are watching on Twitch, YouTube. Right back. Where's my notes? All right. So back to Bitcoin. Nothing is happening. Okay. Really, all we're doing is accumulating. We are manipulating a bit, but we're mostly accumulating. How about Near? Is Near recovering finally? Absolutely brutal with near. Brutal. Now we're going to get one big pump like internet computer. There, I've got 2 channels going on near. Couple channels going on near here. I keep saying near is in a rounded bottom, but I don't even know if it will pump now. If BTC falls to 80,000, how much do you think XRP will fall? So if BTC falls to 80, which is highly likely, maybe not right now, but definitely highly likely, you can see XRP probably around $1.78. XRP is playing the channel, right? So gotta let XRP play the channel. All right, let's check out ADA. Oh, look at this, guys. ADA's bouncing off of my area. This is why we didn't take the short. I was very close to getting triggered on an ADA short here, but not with it being that oversold, right? Here's the resistance on Cardano. So you've got key resistance on ADA, and pretty much what Cardano can do is come up to 42 and then continue down. Unless BTC is bullish. I'm trying to figure out Bitcoin right now because we are in an uptrend in the shorter term. The question is, we're very, very weak. We have a 1 minute. Kind of like a 5 minute, 1 minute head and shoulder. So the way I look at this uptrend channel right here is until we break this in one direction, we're not going to do anything. And technically, Bitcoin hit the top again. So it should hit the bottom if it will be bullish and a bullish reversal happens, which it has not done. All it's really doing is going sideways. Do I think Bitcoin will go to 89K? It's very, very possible, but we'll have to see how this channel plays out because it is very, very weak momentum and volume. very weak. So hypothetically, this should have, really what this should have done is dropped here, but it didn't. So now you're kind of going sideways. Are you going to pump after? Or are you going to go down? And based on what I'm seeing here on the 5-minute time frame, you're already overbought. We're just waiting for a move. And what we're waiting for, guys, is we're waiting for this 1 hour momentum indicator to hit the top. I can 99.9% say there's 1% this may not happen. That Bitcoin will roll over when it hits the top of that RSI. Until then, you can expect Bitcoin to be on a little bit of a continuation to the upside. Not much continuation, because if you look at the 5-minute, the 5-minute already broke trend a long time ago. Well, no, it didn't. It didn't even touch the 5-minute. Right? So Bitcoin is ranging sideways, didn't really touch the 5-minute, kind of hanging out. If there will be any bounce, it will go to the RSI in the 5-minute. For now, we will see what happens if we get the pump to the top of the RSI. If we do, then that is a good sign of a reversal and possibly a short. Make sure you guys smash up the like button if you have not, guys. Watch Twitch in the background. Share on x.com. If you have an X account, here's their live right here on X. Make sure you share it. Like, Bitcoin really wants to break and pump. You can see it is continuing to push. Momentum, 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 but there is no momentum, which is why we didn't break out. All right, what are some of the top coins that are running right now? Monad is trending #1. Zerebro, Pippin, Zcash. ICP, WP. What is RAIN? RAIN protocol. If the market made me fall asleep, this is just woke me up. Holy, is that a pump? That is a crazy pump on RAIN. See, Near Protocol has a double bottom like that. Like, there is a serious thing for near protocol to almost pump here and break out. Serious potential for near to break out and pump. If we could reclaim, really now, we will have to keep an eye on here. So is everybody on shorts or longs? Are you guys shorting or longing Bitcoin at the moment, or no trade? No trade zone, or shorting or longing Bitcoin? Shorting, get ready for a long snipe. I know you're like a 1 minute or 5 minute scalper though, so that's fine. Short BTC, shorting. Where's everybody's entry on Bitcoin right now? I'm short all day. I will not go long. I will not go long. 5 minutes overbought. Looks like we're going to have a drop here in a bit. See, here's the thing, guys. I don't mind trading on the 1 minute. The problem is I stay in too long in the 1 minute, 5 minute, and I go for a walk. I go do something. I stay in way too long. Like Forex, I'm out right away. But Bitcoin, for some reason, crypto, I'm in it for like a day. Right? So if we do look at 1 minute potentially scalping, like I don't know. I personally would not be long with the 5 minute overbought. I would at least wait till the 5 minutes oversold. Sinster, don't say that. I got a stop loss at 88. Don't tell me that, all right? There's a very big possibility that Bitcoin could push up to 87.7. Like I'm talking slim possibility, but a possibility. Although we should be pulling back a bit. But I like hearing your guys' perspective, because for the 1 minute, 5 minute scalpers, it makes sense to long, right? We're still in the channel. See, that 30 minute is very, very risky, because that 30 minute is very, very overbought too. All right, what is Ethereum doing? And guys, there is no wrong answer, right? Shorting, longing, there is no wrong answer. Personally, I just like following the trend. The trend is your friend, essentially. If Ethereum breaks out of this conversion line, this could be a really good scalp. To the top. That's if it does, and I'd be very, very shocked if it does, because again, we're very, very bearish in the market. We are not bullish. But what we're looking at Ethereum to touch the top of this 1 hour here. And then that would be resistance. Just like Bitcoin is going for the top of the RSI, there is a bit more room to push up for you scalp traders for Bitcoin and then roll over. Or we just range in this area in Tokyo and wait for London or US to make a move. And based on what I'm seeing, guys, right now, it looks like London is possibly going to drop it. Can we send pics or screenshots on Twitch? I don't believe so. I don't believe they let you on any platforms. But send it on Telegram or send it in Mighty in the main chat and I'll look at it. I'll pull up something. I don't mind. Yeah, Asia definitely stopped everybody out last night. What I was waiting for in Asia last night was I knew we could drop, but if you look at it, we were on an uptrend, right? So typically that should have been a pump. Exactly what Sinister is saying, right? Typically that should have been a pump. Even though this is a head and shoulder, it doesn't matter. It was on an uptrend. So what should have happened is this should have hit the top like this, like this. This made sense right here. And then we should have reversed right here at about 90K. Maybe stop loss 80,800 and wick back up. And again, what should have happened is you bounce back up and then you run in an uptrend channel until you hit the top again. That never happened, not even close. Not only did that not happen, we didn't even back test. We just completely sold off, completely. No back test, nothing, just a complete sell-off, which wasn't even manipulation. It was distribution. Then what New York did is New York actually manipulated today. So this movement here was new. Well, this was, I'll make it easier for you guys. Red Bull at almost 9 p.m. You have no idea what I'm doing, guys. I am doing something so big in the back end. Think Mr. Beast level production. And I'm not telling anybody what I'm doing, but I'm doing something so big in the back end, plus 4 hours of lives a day. I need some Red Bull, man. All right, but basically what happened, guys, is you have your trading sessions right here, New York, London, right? Tokyo, distribution. London accumulated. Remember, guys, in the live last night, I was saying that London is probably going to accumulate. It happened. Then we had New York manipulate. But what you're going to see is you're going to see New York close at London accumulation pricing, okay? Then we have Tokyo manipulating on the close and probably going to close at accumulation London pricing. And then what do you think London or New York is going to do? Anyways, that's how it's looking. If London sells off, that is great. New York is going to accumulate. But Tokyo manipulated. We come back to here. And then we sell off. Yo, anybody want to put on Netflix and see why Triple H said this is going to be one of the biggest Raws of 2025? I really want to watch wrestling again, guys, but it's so boring. I can't even. Very, very boring. So that is what we're looking for. But we also have an inverse head and shoulder here too. Which is probably not going to hold up just because of the daily. Now, you guys got to keep in mind, if you're looking for longs, they're not going to be too much because now the daily is pushing right down a bit. Like the daily is pushing right down on Bitcoin. So what it looks like is going to happen is we're going to drop again. And Bitcoin is going to form bullish divergence somewhere down here. Daily is going to flatten out on the momentum indicator and then go up. But I've got shorts lined up to absolutely print. Low leverage, 5x, not too crazy. But if we play it out, game over, good money. So that is essentially why you don't want to be longing. However, it's even really risky to short because now you've got fair value gaps building up here. Like this is not a good area to trade. I'll be honest with you guys. The only reason I'm trading is because I know we're in a downtrend and I know we're hitting resistance, all right? I saw some of them at Staples Center in LA a few hours before the show holding a script in their hands, practicing the moves. Are you serious? That's kind of funny. Come on, BDC, go to 80. Buddy, if BDC goes to 80, we're coming all the way down to 76, fam. Maybe even 75. I used to have a wrestling channel, guys. I think I showed you guys this on the live one time. I'm probably going to do it again. I really like it. I'm just bored of the storylines. I need like more. Vince McMahon was better in every way of writing stories. I'm sorry. Not sorry, actually. Actually, I don't know. Maybe it's better now. Not sure. All right, so what you're going to see now is what should happen is you're going to see Bitcoin do what should have done last night. It is going sideways and it potentially should bounce right here, right? Because we're on a 1 hour uptrend. And this is what should have happened last night. And then if it does, hypothetically, the continuation goes here. The only problem with that is the 1 hour is overbought. So let's see what happens. That is very low manipulation, but it is still manipulation. Because basically what manipulation is, guys, you're always going to come back to the original price. Price is being manipulated, and then you're going to come back to the original price. So here was the original price at New York, or whatever it was. So Tokyo is going to push up, manipulate, and then you know it's going to come back to that original price. By the time Tokyo session closes, we're going to be at the original price area, and then you're looking for the next session to either reverse price, accumulate price, and that is it. And then you ride into Tokyo again. You got to see what Tokyo does after, right? I just want this broccoli short to absolutely print. You guys know, shout out to Sinister Scalper here. I am on a crazy broccoli short right now. Ridiculous broccoli short. Overbought. Going up, but again, I don't really, going up isn't a big thing in a downtrend market. We can see it is rejecting the fair value gap right here. We didn't really have manipulation. I don't know. I would call this accumulation. A little bit of a rising bear pennant, bear flag here. Bear flag. I mean, broccoli broke out. Again, it's probably going to be a fake out. 1 hour is overbought. Volume is getting weaker and weaker. And then bang, big drop to the downside, providing London sends us down. Okay. So Asia, Tokyo isn't really doing anything, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. What are we doing here for top trades? Zerebro is pumping a lot. I know we were looking at Zerebro last night. Zerebro is absolutely melting faces, and it seems like on an uptrend, but that's a tough one. That is insane. I don't know if I want to even. If you guys want a long, Zerebro is where it's at. This is the type of trade you long. You do not short this with a 10-foot pull, or you're. So Zerebro, because we got to look at potential longs if they're on an uptrend, right? Zerebro is probably going to be a liquidity grab, but nonetheless, it is pumping. Like technically that bounced off your 618 here. It's a horrible wick, but nonetheless, it. Yeah, so this could potentially run up to 8 cents, guys, on Zerebro. Absolutely. Obviously, you have resistance right here. 5 cents. This is an absolute banger. It is really tough for me to long a market right now that can dump in a minute. So I'm just showing this to the people who like scalping. But yeah, this thing is looking like it is about to rip. Look at that bear flag fake out pennant. Even here, right here, look, right here, bang. It could fake out. It could fake out. I don't think it is going to fake out. You've got a pretty big pump on Zerebro, possibly. What is Virtuals doing? I think, yeah, AI is just going to be unbelievable. Wow. That's kind of weird. This market is weird, man. You know what? I'm changing my thesis on I don't know. I got to see what London's doing, but London is either going to manipulate or accumulate because Asia's in a big accumulation right now. We did have that manipulation wick. It does look like this could be an accumulation session. Virtuals is not looking good. So Zerebro is going against virtuals. Why is that? Let me look at their X account here. See what is happening with their X account. Oh wait, Zerebro, what am I talking? I don't even know. Man, why do they make this so difficult? Why can't it? I didn't even know Zerebro's off of Solana there. Okay, so there is no account for Zerebro. Great. What is Tesla doing? Stock market's close, I know, but I'm not buying this drop on Tesla. I am not buying it. It looks like it is going to tank, but I'm not buying it. Not buying it at all. I'm going to have to do some stocks update, metals updates tomorrow. Let's run up the live, guys. Let's absolutely run it up, fam. I appreciate you guys. It means a lot for being on here, taking the time out of your day to watch my content. Let's get it. Who wants to dump? It's going to be a beautiful. Yeah, I guess Asia would be accumulation. Because London's opening up in a few hours. So whether London will take liquidity upside or downside of Asia, then continuation on New York. There will be manipulation on one of them then if Asia's accumulation, because sure, this is a wick, but this isn't really, I wouldn't even call that manipulation. I would call that a little wick on Asia's part, but this is more accumulation than anything. It looks to me that London is going to drop it. Or we manipulate, push up in London, and then come down. Interesting. Very interesting. Tether Dom, what is it doing? Did I cover Ethereum? Not yet, fam. I will absolutely cover Ethereum for you. Guys, was I wrong to start up this thing in the bearish market again? No, I wasn't. At least when we become bullish, everything's going to skyrocket. The channel, the network, the people are going to come back. You guys being here in this market means you guys are literally invincible. Literally invincible, okay? Yeah, I'm looking at this being accumulation for Asia. So that means New York or London is going to manipulate. USDT.D is in a crazy uptrend. Okay, Ethereum. We made money shorting last year. Yeah, but I never launched a whole community trading network in a bear market. But that's fine, because when the bull market comes, the algorithm are going to be nicely massaged. All right, ETH. Well, maybe I did cover ETH. I did cover ETH, but I didn't remember. Bear markets are for building. There you go, CJDV. You said it right there, brother. You said it right there. Grant Cardone, one of the greatest men in the world for business, said if there was a meltdown, recession, if the markets collapsed, if stores shut down, if everybody were staying in their homes because it was not safe, he said he would go door to door to do his business because no one is doing it. I'm pretty sure nobody's launching a whole community trading network right now or at this time. Got to go against the grain, right? It is essentially like buying when people are fearful and selling when people are FOMO. So, Sinister, this is what I'd be looking at. But you got to keep in mind this conversion line. Yes, ETH should potentially go to 2,900, potentially. But has anything potentially been doing what it should have? XRP should have pumped to 275. Based on my TA. And with the 4-hour oversold, like, look at XRP, guys. With inflows of ETF, and sure, things usually drop before an announcement, or when an announcement happens. I get that. But look at this. There is no way anybody could have predicted this. Ranging in a pennant and oversold. The only thing we could have predicted is the fact that it broke trend. And that could have been an indicator that it was time to short. But there was no way this could have been predicted. Of course, you could have used books, order books, and stuff like that. Like Ichimoku Cloud would have told me right there. And I'm going to start using the Ichimoku. Actually, let's go to the Ichimoku Cloud for a moment. So if we go to 30 bars, there's your pump right there in the shorter time frame. I don't like that chart on the Ichimoku Cloud for shorts. I really don't. But I also know we're overbought in the 1 hour. Yeah, so it looks like we are going to keep on consolidating until we hit the top of that resistance, which is going to be around right here. So if you guys aren't any shorts, lock up your shorts, fam. Around here. There's where you're going to want to lock all the shorts up and get it down. I made a note last night. You mentioned the cloud 30 bars. Were you talking about candles? Yes. But so it's the lagging span indicator. When it crosses, you count 30 bars. It is 1 out. Well, so pretty much like that. If it starts crossing, you count 30 bars, and this is when you'd open up a long. If it crosses down, almost when it is about to cross, match it up with your indicators, you count 30 bars, not candles, but 30 bars, and you're going to see a drop right there. And this is my last ditch effort. This is my last ditch effort if things don't line up. Now, here's the thing. It looks like BTC is about to cross with the lagging span indicator right here, which would be 30 bars. It doesn't make sense. And the reason it doesn't make sense is because if you go to the 2-hour time frame, you're going to see, or actually 45-minute, you're going to see this is ranging like this. It never crossed up. It is going sideways. If it crosses up through the candles, you have a potential pump. But I wouldn't even go on my lower time frames. I'd go on my higher. Essentially, you want to move like this, cross up. And then if you look from here, 30 bars, you're probably, boom, 30 bars right there. So you need it to cross through the candles up or down. If this crosses down like that, you know we're going to drop, and you count 30 bars. So I would say in a couple more hours, we're going to start dropping, and this is going to cross down. Little bit of an intuition moment here. But even looking at the Ichimoku cloud, it doesn't look like we're going to pump. Now, again, I could be completely wrong, which is okay. I'm a trader, right? We're allowed to be wrong. But look at the 30-minute, and it looks like it is crossing down. So you count how many bars from there? 30 bars. So the next 2-hour candles should technically be a drop. It hasn't crossed down yet, okay? It hasn't. I'm just predicting a bit in the future. 15-minute, what does it look like it's doing? Crossing down, right? So you had the cross here. Guys, I'm giving you some type of alpha TA that not too many people talk about, okay? But basically, you take your date range, you cross up here, 30 bars, bang, you got into a long right here. You had a nice little pump all the way to about 87. You have a drop, you count from here, 30 bars, probably here. And then here's probably going to be your drop into the London session. All right. So let's go look at something that is actually moving. Zere, bro, right? Why not? You guys are not going to like this because you probably missed out on an astronomical pump. Count from right here, a little bit of a range, 30 bars, and bang on right there, 29.30. Massive pump right here. Right there, 30 bars. Now, keep in mind, though, you're getting in at the beginning, right? So you're not getting in at the pump. You're getting in right here because it's crossing. And even right here, it faked out. So it isn't always right, but it is right, but you have to find the entry, right? So you get in right here, you cross, right? 30 bars. Yeah, you would have already been in the trade. No, you wouldn't have. No, you wouldn't have, because you would have got in about 30 bars. So you would have got in right here at 2 cents and then exploded. Okay. Same thing, right? Let's take a look at Aster. Joe Robinson, appreciate you. 430 Olga, how you doing? Let's do the same thing with Aster. Okay, 30 bars. Right? Okay. Here you go. 30-minute, crossed up, 30 bars. You're probably going to get a pump. So this should be the pump on Aster, right? Which means that it should pump to around 107. But I'll look at the 1 hour. You get the cross. You're probably going to get the cross right here. 30 bars, bang. Yeah. Looks like Aster is going to pump. But the caveat to that is you can't just rely on that indicator. Now you got to look at your overbought, oversold, right? Speaking of that, I'm going to look at broccoli for myself because this short is going to print. Absolutely print, guys. I'm telling you right now, this short is going to print. If you can find an entry on broccoli, which I would say this is a good entry. I've been saying this is a good entry, but you got to manage your leverage. Let's go here. 30 bars. And you should start noticing a dump. So here, Bitcoin is starting to drop. There we go. We're starting to cross down, 30 bars, and you're going to start noticing a drop, okay? But you got to rely on your indicators. If you're completely overbought or oversold, it's not going to really matter, right? I am locked and loaded on shorts. Okay, we're going to go to Aster because I didn't really do much other than the lagging span indicator, right? I do recommend you guys look at it, but you got to keep in mind, just because this indicator is looking good doesn't mean it's going to play out. I wouldn't use this indicator on an overbought if I'm looking for a long. I'm going to use this indicator when it is oversold. So you can't just rely on one thing. You got to look at multiple things, right? And here you guys could see that the lagging span indicator is a trend too. And it is breaking. So everything is in a trend, guys. Keep in mind. If this starts dumping before London, that was manipulation. $320, yeah. So that would change to manipulation. And the reason that would change to manipulation is because you wicked up and now you're going in your real direction. If this stayed accumulation until London, then it would be accumulation. But you can kind of see here, even on your lagging span indicator that we are starting to London Bridge. We're in Tokyo. Crack the egg, crack the egg. We're about to come down. And here's what I mean with the lagging span. Most people would look at this, a lot of people, and say, you know what, you're about to cross, I'm going to long. That is false. The reason is because you're overbought. So things aren't easy, guys. They're just not. But I'm loving this because we're not at the dog park yet, okay? Or the dog park. My dog needs to go to the dog park, and I haven't been able to drive my car anywhere because they can't let me out because of my parking stall for almost the whole time I've been here. So I've been walking everywhere. But now that they got me a new parking stall, I could take my dog to the dog park. So I'm thinking dog park. So this would be typically where you would long, okay? Typically. But again, you're overbought. So you don't want to long here. Like typically in an uptrend, you would long here. It would be a continuation, something like that. That is false because you are overbought. Okay? So there's a couple things. Now, you may notice Bitcoin is not just going to tank. Why? Because we have a fair value gap here. Sorry, we have a fair value gap here. We have another fair value gap here. And then we come down. There's going to be slow momentum to the downside until we break these fair value gaps. Okay? Sinister is coming in hot with a ZRX delisting short. I have been printing off your delisting calls, by the way. I know you're more of a scalper. I'm more of a holder. This one's dropping a lot more. I don't. If it comes back up to 15, I short it. Guys, let's get this to the #1 crypto network in the world, the #1 on the internet. I know we can do it. I know we can do it in this market because a lot of people are sleeping at the moment. Yes, pretty much going to be like broccoli, right? I'm just going to hold my broccoli and watch it crash and burn. So again, if we look at that lagging span indicator, we can look at broccoli here. Just trying to give you guys another way to trade, right? Sinster knows a lot, bro. Okay, so again, it's about to cross over 30 bars, and the drop should be on the next or this candle. This thing's going to tank. Absolutely dump. Look at this tweezer reversal forming on the fair value gap rejection on broccoli. This is a very bearish candle rejection, guys. Very. Look at that. That is a money rejection right there. That's what I like to call it. Beautiful money rejection. All right. If you're new to the live, let me know. If you're new to our community, let me know. If you're not in our app, let me know. mighty.beastlimitless.com. We got this 5-minute head and shoulder here. This is doing the same exact thing it did up here, guys. You notice that, Asia? Look at this. Look at this. Same exact thing in a micro time frame, 1 hour time frame. This was on a macro. We had a head and shoulder, same exact thing, and then it dropped through. We've got another head and shoulder. It isn't dumping, but I would say it's going to be pretty close, and then we're going to have another drop through. And double bottoms don't play that much in a downtrend market, although this is an uptrend channel, okay? So when you're in a downtrend market, guys, essentially your uptrends don't really matter. Like, they do matter. I shouldn't say that. They do matter, right? If you would have shorted it here, you got it wrecked. But they're less profitable, so to speak. Let's go, fam. Let's run this up tonight. Make some money. Who wants to make some money on the live? I want to see if Zerebro is holding up. See, it's trying to pump, but that downtrend is brutal. Well, Zerebro's not even on the downtrend right now. I don't know what Zerebro is. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, technically, if I look at TA on this, I wouldn't even trade it, because I guess that would be the uptrend. I don't. It's a tough one. Humpty Dumpty went on a wall, and Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Look at that rejection of that fair value gap. That is what we want to see. Sinster, where are you from? US or Canada? I lived in Texas for a bit. That is what we want to see. We want to see the drop. We want to see that head and shoulder playing out. We want to print money. My XRP spot trade isn't looking too hot, but I don't mind. That is, yeah, I guess we're manipulation because we're not accumulating. So Asia is manipulation phase. That means that London is probably going to be distribution, and New York is probably going to be accumulation. If we break this, this is manipulation, because we would have to accumulate into into the London session. I would agree, kind of, maybe. I dated some US women, right? A lot of people are going to try to long it here too, guys, because of the inverse head and shoulder. So you can see a little bit of inverse head and shoulder here. Again, the reason we're not really dropping or pumping yet is because there's two fair value gaps hitting each other, long and short. Okay. That means my Cardano short is getting ready. Not going to short it yet. But again, Cardano short is definitely getting ready. Yeah, so once we cross, we go 30 bars and we dump to nothing. I don't even know half of these coins that are trending right now. Unbelievable. Veracity, Zerebro's top. Yeah, SX. Like, look at this. SXP is one of your biggest losers at the moment. This is gone and gone. Like, I don't know what to... SXP is brutal, guys. Look at this. Like, from the top, this would have been a dynamite short. If anybody wants to make money on SXP scalping, personally, I would. I just can't watch it right now. It should dump all the way down to 0.2. You might need to wait till it's overbought, but this thing should come down. I'll set an alert here because I don't like chasing it, but man, oh man, SXP is done. I will say this though, guys, if you look at SXP, this is a downtrend from April of 2021. This could be the bounce on SXP down here, and if it did, you'd be looking at a pump all the way to about 18 to 20 cents. That is a dynamite trade. Now, if it broke, well, then you're coming back down. But it took SXP almost a year to play out this downtrend. December 24th. So we might hit the downtrend close to December 24th. Watch SXP. This thing could absolutely capitulate even more and pump when it hits the bottom around December 24th. Possibly. Anything could happen. Like, you're just coming right down. I really want to trade this thing, but I am not going to chase the wick. For my scalp traders, this is a really good opportunity for you guys. Is this core? Wow. Wow. What the heck is going on with the market? Core was literally one of the most bullish projects in crypto. This could be the bottom. I don't know. I'm not long in a downtrend. I'm just showing you guys a couple coins that could recover. And if it breaks here, core is done. If it breaks this trend here, core is going to dump and dump and dump. I am looking at the top losers because I want to see the bottom. I want to see how far they can dump. Unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. DCA, they said. Alt season, they said. Yeah. Okay, so you're kind of bouncing off this area right here, which is what you should have done before. We'll see what happens. It's bouncing off this trend. So here's what happens. If we range in this area, you're going to be an accumulation. If not, and you break it, your manipulation, you're dropping. It's really all there is to it. And this 4 hours closing here too in a bit. U.S. economy going to nothing. The world heavily revolves around our economy. Yeah, this is very interesting the way we're in the world. When alt season, I don't know. What is Cyber doing? I think Cyber ran in the bear market last time. Maybe, possibly. Nope, forget what I said. Cyber's going to crash and burn. I would be putting support here on Cyber all day because it is completely overbought in the daily. You want it to break 73-ish. And then Cyber's going to chase this wick. Yeah, it's looking brutal. Cyber looks like it is going to dump very, very hard. Weekly is looking okay, but that doesn't really matter because the daily is like really overbought. No alt season this cycle. Okay, so Tokyo is faking out here a bit off this 4-hour close. That is yeah. Okay, so Tokyo is definitely manipulation. Has to be. The way alts are being delisted, I don't see an alt season either. A handful of big boys may have some decent 1 to 2 day pumps. Yeah. We've got another head and shoulder, but yeah, this is all over the map right now. Okay, so we set an alert on Cyber. Sologenic is very low. Sologenic is very low. Wow. Solo is definitely going to go chase this wick, guys, for sure. Can you short Solo on MEXC? I don't even know. Let me see, because that would be a crazy short. Nope. Can't short it. Can't short it. Okay, so really what we need to do is just watch Bitcoin reject this fair value gap at this point, which is what it is doing. At this point, Tokyo is just going to mess around in this zone. Yeah. Yeah, so not much happening, guys. I would really like a drop right now, at least to make some cash. This range is driving. Okay, Prime is looking okay. Is Prime even on MEX anymore? Prime's on Gate. Are they just pumping all the projects you can't trade futures on? All these projects that are pumping, you can't trade futures. They're just spot trades. Whales are trying to get their money back on spot trades. Very, very interesting. So Echelon Prime could pump a lot. Could pump all the way to 280 potentially. Doesn't mean I would take the trade. Like, I don't. If we go look at Bitcoin here, we closed 4 hour in a couple minutes here. This is crazy, this market. Definitely a scalper's volatility dream. I'll say that for sure. The whales in the first 2 to 3 months of the year decimated and ruined the market too. Their greed got in the way of any smarts. They cut off their own revenue stream. People left it by April. Yep. Did I hear a scalper stream? Yeah, for sure. Like, technically, guys, the market could pump all the way up to here. It really could, because it did back test. But with the 1 hour, it's really tough. It's really, really tough. All right. Man, these 2 hour lives are banging. We're actually looking at some pretty good setups. We just need something to happen. I guess London is where everything's going to happen tonight. For now, we wait for Tokyo. All right, guys. So we're going to end the live there. Really, all you need to know is this could potentially go up here, which is now 88. But with this downtrend resistance right here, you might wake up one more time and then come down. There's a 5-minute head and shoulder too. We'll see what happens, right? It all depends on this 4 hour time frame. Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you guys for joining the live. Make sure you have that channel locked in, right? Even if this does go up, it could just wick up again, manipulate, and then come back down. Right now, everything is just flat until we make a move, and that is essentially within the next 8 to 10 hours here. So that's all I got for you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. If you're not in mighty.beastlimitless.com, join it. It is our app right here. If you're new, pack chat, come to the pack chat. Come say hi, all right? People are chatting, stuff like this, guys. Let's make this super active. And let's see what Bitcoin does, if we break it or if we continue up. Any trade is a good trade at the moment, as long as you know your levels, right? If we know Bitcoin is bouncing off this trend here, then we know this is a continuation of an uptrend. But we got to keep in mind the 1 hour is very overbought. So any small uptrend, I would say, would reject in this area right here. We'll see what happens tomorrow, guys. Either I'm going to get stopped out on my short or I'm going to make a lot of money on it. And that is why we had that bounce right there. We never actually broke out of the downtrend, though. So we will see what happens. All right, guys, have a great night. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. CST. And then we'll see what we're looking at tomorrow. Honestly, I wouldn't mind it going back up here because then I could DCA.